Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, and sometimes I'm with the producer, sometimes I'm producer free. Tonight I am producer free, so Aya Bear is standing by on the phone to let me know if we've just gone live or not. So please let me know if you're hearing me, if you're seeing me from the northern half of Quebec. And Aya Bear, can you tell me, are people seeing me and hearing me at this point? Can I increase my volume? I do not believe there is a way to increase the volume. Um, oh, that's you. Because I'm looking at my levels, and my levels are close to pegged here. If anything, I might need to turn them down. Okay, we have a fantastic show here tonight. We're going to talk about the holographic universe. We're going to talk about your ascendance. We're going to talk about how everything you do makes a positive impact on the world. You are the divine. You are the infinite. You are capable of so much. You are awesome. And I wanted to share where you're at. So, first off, I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. I am right now north of the Saguenay or Saguenay River or the Saguenay Fjords in Quebec, just off of, I'm not sure if you can see it behind me. Let's see if I can move things over. That waterway behind it. There we go. There we are. The waterway behind me is the St. Lawrence Riverway, really the Atlantic. I got out for my and oh, there are whales, 12 or 13 different species of whales here. We've seen in the distance minsk, beluga, humpback. Um, I know I'm missing at least one, plus dolphin, seal, and a few other beautiful creatures as well. I went swimming in this water a couple days ago. It was a little warmer than it was today. It was, I don't know, somewhere between 42 and 47. And today was colder and actually started to get a little bit of funniness in the chest. So I got out a little bit early. I love doing that though, not the getting out early. That had me a little bummed. Uh, but I love going out and playing in nature and seeing what we're capable of, seeing what we can do, and trying out this kind of, I call it meat suit, for all it's worth. And I guess that's almost what I want to talk with you about. I'm going to pull up my notes here tonight, and I guess I'm going to brighten my screen a little bit. I'm going to talk my way through this because when the screen is brighter, Quebec is La Belle Province. Lori, this place is just stunning. We have been, I, I grew up by Quebec. By Quebec, I mean I grew up north of Boston. I grew up on the New Hampshire border. So only, I don't know, as the crow flies, 2.5 hours from Quebec, and I'd never been till we did a short visit. We did a book tour here 10 years ago. No, it might have been more than that. We did a book tour here, I think it was 2009, 2010. And oh, just right now it's clicked. It's just incredible, and we're loving it. All right. Well, that kind of has to do with the Great Ascendance, which is what we're talking about here today. In fact, we've had guest after guest talking about the Great Awakening, and we can call it an awakening, we can call it an ascendance, we can call it, do I dare call it enlightenment for humanity? It really is in a sense. Enlightenment isn't the end of the road. Caveat, full disclosure, I'm not enlightened. I'm not even close to enlightened. But what I do know is that everything is a process, everything is expanding, everything is growing, everything is in human form. We would call it spiraling upwards. And that's what I want to talk with you about today because we are spiraling upwards. You are spiraling upwards. I am spiraling upwards. All of us are on this mega spiral toward our greatness. And so the question is, what does that mean? Well, when I say we're spiraling upwards, there really is no up there. There really is no down there. There really is no out there. But from a human perspective, it may be the best words that we have to describe the undescribable or describe what we call is the ineffable, which means something that there are no words for. So I've had two near-death experiences, and I don't bring that up as like to pat myself on the shoulder. If you can avoid a near-death experience, please do. because it's called near death for a reason, and it's not because it's a pleasure cruise. Um, However, I came back with understandings and knowings, and it's not even beliefs about things for which I don't have words. Now, I do automatic writing. I teach automatic writing and I have a school of mystics where I'm going to help you to ascend. That's about as close as I can come to words, which is playing with a vibrational frequency. And you'll feel that here this evening. When I talk, when I teach, there's a vibration I play with to help us get beyond the fact that there are no words for these things. So ascendance falls short, awakening falls short, enlightenment, that's very PC these days, but I don't think that even does the best job. But for humanity, maybe the easiest thing is to talk about us spiraling upwards. So we look up at the sky, we go, wow. We look up at the birds, we go, cool. We look up at a plane, it's a bird, it's a plane. We look up at the stars, we look up at the heavens. And so in the Western world, we don't look inward. That's more of an Eastern concept. We look more upward. However, inward doesn't seem to have the same connotation that it should, particularly for humanity. However, the world is changing rapidly, really, really fast at this point. There's no stopping it. There's no getting a foot off of the accelerator. It is scary beyond belief. We are all going through this together. If I was to talk to a fellow Quebecois, I'm not a Quebecois, but if I was to talk to somebody from Quebec, they'd probably be about as concerned about as the elections as the rest of the world. That's not saying we get to focus on the election. What that means is we're all connected. So when we talk about hmm, when we talk about spiraling upwards, and I'm going to see if I can adjust my notes here. So if you see my eyes darting all over the page, it is playing with this whole custom setup here. See if I can see things. Ooh, now I can see things a little bit better. If we were attached, humanity, I mean, to looking inward as much as we are to looking outward, or looking in the inside rather than the outside. If we were so much more inner focused, the whole world would change before our eyes. Wouldn't have to worry about an election. Probably wouldn't have to worry about Beryl or other hurricanes. And we've just set up it's through YouTube. They have a Beryl relief fund. We've set up there. We wouldn't have to worry about these things because we are creators. You are a creator. I am a creator. Aya Bear, who I think is hanging on here right now, she is a creator. Bonnie Binsky, Amanda Simpson, Chris Pastorelli, Yo Toby, Wendy, Christy, Lori, Chip. You're all creators. The world is changing rapidly. There's no stopping it. The accelerator is simply a choice now of going fast or going faster and faster and faster. In fact, I have a setup now where my 2-year-old and 2-month-old girl, I can't call her baby girl anymore, Hannah Bear. She sits with me on the bicycle, on the mountain bike. We go downhill, and Mama Bear's off in front of us. She's tearing away on her e-mountain bike. She's going, and we're behind her, and Hannah Bear will go, faster, go faster, faster, Daddy, or faster, Daddy Bear. She's been saying Daddy Bear and Papa Bear a lot. That's the choice of the accelerator today. Faster or faster, faster. So the accelerator, though, doesn't appear to be going upwards. Right now, the accelerator of humanity appears to be going downwards. It appears like we're spiraling downhill and there is no saving us. Fortunately, nothing could. Mark, no, Hannah is not officially a terrible two. She is an awesome two. She is the greatest two. I am very, very biased, and everybody else has great kids as well. That's what we get to be as Papa Bear. We get to be so proud of our kids. She is strong. She is independent. She is much more capable than both Jessica and myself. But terrible? No way, Mark. A fearless leader, shall we say. It appears right now we're spiraling downwards. And I've mentioned it before. It's worth mentioning again. There is a powerful reason for this. There are many powerful reasons. In fact, the powerful reason is the powers that be. Oh my God, so many songs keep coming into my head lately, which is the universe's way of speaking to me. Is it Public Enemy? I think it's Public Enemy. We got to fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the power. Fight the powers that be. No, we don't have to fight anything. We can love everything up. But I'm not a big bad conspiracy guy. But those in power want to hold on to power. If you're leading the place, you might want to keep leading the place. If you're on top of the world, you might want to stay on top of the world. The trick is, in this case, it seems like the big bad bully, a bully on the block, wants to stay the big bad bully. And that bullying is a method of control. Bullying out of fear, bullying out of worrying you, bullying out of making you feel small, bullying out of fear and keeping you in the dark, bullying out of making you feel less than. So what does this mean? It means we can't feed the bully at all costs. We can't feed the bully at all costs. But the bully right now has a sword over us, or is continuously playing a movie. Right now, if you look at the world at large, not the world behind me, this is pretty. I'm biased, but it's even more beautiful than this camera could possibly do justice. Um, it's crazy beautiful. But the world right now is playing a movie. It's a movie of fear. It's a movie of doubt. It's a movie of one against the other. Perhaps you recognize this movie. And it's all to keep the powers that be staying in power. And yeah, we have an awesome show this Thursday, a live event with Robert Edward Grant. We're going to talk about the pyramids. We're going to talk about Egyptian knowledge. We're going to talk about what the Egyptians had to say about this time and carved in stone in the Great Pyramid and carved in stone and many other pyramids to help us get through this time and to help us ascend as human beingness. So, while it appears that we're spiraling downwards, and that's simply fed by a system of fear mongering and gloom and doom. It's not true at all. Humanity is waking up. Humanity is ascending. You are waking up every single day just by being you. You are more awake. You are more aware. You are more in a feeling state. It can be an overwhelming state at times, to say the least, but you are tuning to a higher frequency. Yes, Robert Edward Grant this Thursday live. How does it get any better than this? Next week, we are recording a show with Billy Carson that will be out in a few weeks as well. We're going to be talking about the same topic as well. How does it get any better than this? Humanity is waking up. You are waking up to a higher level. So now, waking up isn't just about seeing more things, even feeling more things. It is about attuning to a higher vibration. It's why I have the School of Mystics. In fact, this month is all about the Great Awakening in the School of Mystics. Come join us. I'll let people in the chat tell you all about it so I can continue this beautiful conversation. But in the School of Mystics, we attune all together to a higher frequency. That is part of this waking up process. This is part of our ascension process, is becoming tuning forks at a higher level. So this means as we're ascending, as we're waking up, we're no longer attached to the old, attached to the heaviness, attached to what I will call the earthbound ways of being. What in the world are earthbound ways of being? Earthbound ways of being are ways of saying that the physical existence is all that there is, or all you see is all that you get. And it's really cool. I met a PhD mathematician and physicist. Of course I did, on the trail a couple days ago, who has this whole new way of looking at math and looking at the world and units of understanding the world. And we're going to sit down tomorrow and he's going to help me understand how all of this math fits into consciousness. That's what I'm talking about here, is we no longer look at the system of humanity, at the system of being on earth, as we are physical beings and we have this separate spiritual existence, that we are physical beings at a bigger level, but there's also this quanta going on, or quantum mechanics going on at a smaller level. It's all energy. It's all one. It's all here. It's all real. And so the concept that we're just human, or that we're just having a physical existence, is gone. It's broken. You know it in every cell of your beingness. In fact, every cell of your beingness, every molecule of your beingness, every atom of your beingness is continuously flickering in and out and in and out of existence. You are a flickering being of pure potentiality, or what I call a flickering being of light. You're continuously flickering from here to the other side of the veil, from here to the other side of the veil, back and forth, billions, trillions, or even more times in each and every second. By quantum mechanics alone, we know you are a divine, infinite being. You are a carrier of information. You couldn't be anything other than that. You are a carrier of information. Well, Michael, is what I learned. No, there is no cell in your beingness that needs to learn how to be a cell. There is no mitochondria in your beingness, or in each cell, that needs to learn how to create energy out of the food that you give it. It has infinite knowledge. You self-healing mechanism. If I cut you, you're going to bleed and then you will heal, as long as I don't cut you too deep. How do you self-heal? Well, the cells know, yeah, and the blood knows, yeah. It's just this veil that has kept us, and your cells don't have that veil, from knowing that you're an infinite divine spiritual being and a full carrier of information. I'm thumping the table too much. Fortunately, I have the headset on. You're a quantum computer, a carrier of information, and you carry information at the highest level. Now, here's the trick. The more that we play with this information, the more that we recognize it, the more that we begin to understand the information that we're carrying, or play a game with this information, the more we begin playing the game of life, and at a much higher level. That's what we're waking up to at this time. That's what's beautiful at this time. That's what more and more people are recognizing. You're beginning to recognize who and what you are. Everyone around you is beginning to recognize who and what they are. And it's interesting because the news will tell you you're worse off. The news will tell you there are more wars than ever. The news will tell you this is more dangerous. The news will tell you, well, you got to worry about AI. But we're waking up to our spiritual nature, which is actually our full totality of nature, our energetic essence. You can see it in the movies. You can see it in popular culture. We're waking up to the fact that we are energy. What does this mean? As you wake up to the fact that you're energy, as you wake up to who and what you are, what happens is you start having higher level thoughts of higher level ways of being, or what is the best? Higher level thinking, or higher ways to be. You start coming up with new potentiality. What does that mean? Well, we're out here exploring. We are having a blast. Yes, we've had some technical challenges on the road. Who doesn't? But it has been amazing, and such a learning and such a beautiful experience, particularly for Hannah Bear, which we wouldn't have had we stayed in our comfortable box. Instead, we put ourselves out there, and this thing appeared, and that thing appeared, and a physicist appeared, and so many other magical people have appeared, and new ways of thinking are appearing, and they're happening for you too. As you begin to wake up to who and what you are, and you don't need to have a tour to do that, you start to have new ways of thinking, new ways of being, new possibilities start to come to you. That's what we call the great ascendance. Once you start on this energy train, there's no stopping you. New ideas and information come in, you assemble them, you get even more new ideas. You play with those new ideas, even more information comes to you. You play with that, even more information comes to you, and faster and faster and faster still. So while the world seems like it's moving faster, and it is, I joke because I will now set a timer in the morning because it is driving me batty. I am mm, limiting belief. I love to get out for my workouts at 9 a.m. And I watch my clock by the time we get to 9 a.m. and it's going and it's moving so fast. And all of a sudden, I've clipped into my pedals or we're out on our hike and it's 11 or it's 12. You've done this too. And you go, where has the time gone? The accelerator is real. That speeding up of information, like the speeding up of Schumann's resonance, it is real. But it also means the speeding up of your processor, the speeding up of your ability. And I'm massaging my heart because this is where all the information comes in from. It's all real. That's why we're doing this. This month, we're teaching in the School of Mystics what to do with that information because it's coming to us so fast. It's overwhelming. It's oh, what do we do with this? That's what we're working on. We're helping you this month in the School of Mystic to ascend, but I'm also helping you here tonight to ascend. Key point. Ascendance is not binary. You can't look at that person and go, well, no, he's not ascending. Nope, nope, sheep. Nope, nope, definitely not ascending. You're not either, you're neither, you're not either, there we go, ascending or you're not. What's happening is this is an evolutionary process baked into the entire human species. Actually, it's baked into the beingness of every higher living level species. I want to be careful here. By higher level, I mean those with the ability to manifest at the highest level or to go beyond their biological programming, to go beyond their ego. Key point. We're not trying to transcend the ego. It's a necessary evolutionary tool for your development. Without the ego, we don't have, in theory, we wouldn't have anything to resist against, nothing to push against. And sort of like alternating current, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, that feeds all of our electrical equipment. If you don't have that alternating current, you wouldn't develop up until a point. There will come a point where you no longer need that resistance. Now, I'm here with 12 or 13 different whale species behind me, and I'm going, do they need that resistance in order to evolve? No. Do they have the same egoic challenges that we have? No. Are they evolving as well? Yes. Are they ascending? Every beingness on this planet is ascending. They're going through the same process in their own way. For humanity, it's required resistance. It's required pushing against. It's required an alternating current, or what I call an electron pump, excuse me, to help you to spiral upwards, as the expression goes. That's where we're at. And at the same time, you can see it in the movies. You can see it in popular culture. You can see it in the music. People saying universe. People saying energy. People discussing yoga. People discussing alternate timelines. People discussing simultaneous realities, manifestation, on and it goes. You can see it on the streets. You can hear it in conversations. And it doesn't matter the language. I can talk to a Quebecois and get the same information and I'm working on my French. I'm not there with my French or even close yet. But no matter the language, the discussions are the same. Thoughts become things. Energy, I'm seeing here from Daniel, hate got to go away. Daniel, hate is going away. And the best way that we can fight hate ain't to fight hate. Is to send out more love. Send out more love. That's what we get to do. Thoughts become things. So many people are talking about it. Energy is everything. And what we hear and is true and goes right along with what you are saying. You can change your reality by changing your thoughts, changing your feelings, changing your energetic state. This is what I'm talking about tonight. As an energetic being, I call you a divine, immortal, energetic being. Divine, meaning connected to the universe. Immortal, meaning your energy ain't dying. Your energy ain't going anywhere. It's coming into this form. It's going out of this form. That's who and what you are. You're continuously flittering, flickering and flitting in and out of existence, in and out of this existence. By focusing on this, by focusing on this existence, you stay in this existence. But what if you focused on the flicker? What if you focused on the time that you're going in and out, or the time on the other side of the veil? Who and what would you become there? Imagine if you went to school, if you will. You went to nursery school, you went to preschool, you went to kindergarten, and you were taught you're a divine energetic being. And we're not going to play with the physicality because the physicality is going to come to you. It's second nature. You're living in a physical space. We're going to talk to you about your energetic body. We're going to talk to you about our energetic beingness. We're going to talk to you about what you are connected to and can see and hear and feel on the other side of the veil. We're going to talk to you about how you can play on the other side of the veil and how you can bring things back and how that you can go and almost have a second life, which is really not a second life, but a first life on the other side of the veil and bring it all back here. I know. How would we live then? All of this craziness, all of this insanity, all of this stuff would go away. All of it would go away by focusing on us being energetic beings, by focusing on our energetic state. What we do is we inform our reality at the highest level. You inform, you affirm, and you affirm as well your new reality at the highest level. This is what humanity is doing. This is what Ascendance is all about. It's about be focusing more and more on your vibratory state, on your energetic state. More and more, individual by individual, and I know you're doing it, can feel this, can feel the energy. It's not just that you walk down an alley and your hair goes up and you go, maybe I need to leave. Everything, an email, a phone call, a post, anything you read or see has an energy behind it. And you're continuously taking note of this energy. Why? As we spiral, as I'm calling it upwards, we become more sensitive to these energies, much more sensitive to these energies. We feel them, we experience them. We don't just see energy. Well, that would be cool. We don't just hear about energy, we live energy. It becomes part of our beingness. And we take action on this energy. That's why people are, I say, almost all of humanity is waking up right now because people are not just sleepwalking anymore. They're paying attention to the energy, and this is unstoppable. This is the ascendance, this is the awakening, this is the shift in humanity. It is again unstoppable. Now, interesting. I went out for a bike ride with Hannah Bear yesterday, 2 days ago, and she's on this mountain bike thing or thing on the front of the bike. It's called, ironically enough, shotgun, but they mean like, would you like to ride shotgun? And so she's riding in the front of the mountain bike with me, and we crest a hill and over some sand, and there are all of these chopped down aspen trees, and the aspen trees are being turned into firewood along the side of the trail, and it was heart stopping is an exaggeration, but it hurt. And as I was so behind the scenes, as I'm speaking to you here, I'm hearing from spirit. So some of the things are on the notes, some of the things are not on the notes. But this morning I went into my automatic writing. I do before every class, I do before every YouTube live, I do before every interview. And I go into my automatic writing and I ask, what do I get to teach about? What do I get to know? And as I'm taking note this morning, all of a sudden the image of all of those chopped down trees and all of that firewood came to mind. And it was kind of heartbreaking. This is a key. What's really going on is seeing those trees and seeing that chopped down wood is informing me. The field is informing me. The energetic field is informing. The field of everything is informing me of what gets to change. We are now informed by the field what doesn't feel good anymore. We're informed by the field with pure energy. We get to watch for the energy. And that's a huge part of the message for today. Pay attention to the thoughts that are coming in, but pay attention to the emotions that are coming in. Energy in motion, seemingly out of nowhere. Energy that's coming in seemingly out of nowhere are what I call thought icebergs. What is a thought iceberg? It's something that didn't start with you. It's something that at the beginning looks like this tiny little bit of ice, big though it may be, on the surface of the water. But when you begin to unpack them, when you lean into that thought iceberg, when you feel into that thought iceberg, when you look at it with everything you've got and say, what do I have here? You find so much more than meets the eye. And in particular, pay attention to the icebergs that you know didn't begin with you. You're driving down the road and all of a sudden you get a wave of emotion. You're driving down the road and all of a sudden this crazy idea comes to you. You're riding on your bicycle, you've got Hana Bear with you, and all of a sudden this idea out of nowhere comes to you. Out of nowhere to now here. That's a thought iceberg. It's also the feeling state is that thought iceberg as well. If you're having ice cream and suddenly you feel dread or excitement or whatever it is, ice cream. I'll go with good vegan ice cream. If you're having that ice cream and you suddenly feel dread or excitement or whatever it is, do not push the energy away, and certainly not the ice cream, but lean into it, the ice cream as well, and trust and feel where did this thought or feeling come from? You're flickering in and out of existence, in existence, out of existence, in and out of existence, out of existence. And guess what? When you're out of existence, we can call it in phase, in human phase, out of human phase, in human phase, out of human phase, in human phase, out of human phase. On the other side, you're phased into whatever we want to call the universe, and you get this information. You're having a good discussion, you get this information, and all of a sudden it's brought back to the you here. It didn't come out of nowhere. Thank you. You're actually saying thank you to yourself, thank you to angels and guides and ancestors and elders and whomever else you were hanging out with having ice cream on the other side of the veil. You didn't bring this information back for nothing. You brought it back to help heal you and to help heal everyone around you. Whatever helps heal you helps everyone around you. Now, heal is a big, strong word. I'm looking at Emily Ward here, who works with energy healing. And there are so many other energy healers here. When you bring energy back to heal yourself, you're helping to heal everyone around you. So humanity is going through her change. But humanity doesn't know how to do it yet. And so there are all of these loose springs, rifts in the tides, eddies and swirls, things that are buffeting, things that feel like they're going in the wrong direction. In fact, it's an interesting way to describe it. I didn't even think about it for my notes this morning or for my channeling. If I go and I swim against the current, it's interesting. So back in Florida, they call me one or two people at least call me the channel man because there's a channel by St. Augustine that I swim back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and woohoo and have a lot of fun in. If there is a strong current, I can't fight the current and get anywhere. But if I go close to the shore where the water rips up against the edge, it creates eddies. It creates, we can call them riptides. It creates water going in the other direction. That's where humanity is at right now. We believe that the current on the side spinning in the other direction is where humanity is going because we put ourselves in the center of the flow where it's taking us downstream or taking us upstream. Instead, we get focused on the energy, the eddies and swirls on the side. No, those eddies and swirls get to be dealt with. They get to be healed. We can do this on an individual level, and we can do it on a collective. Now we're talking. And now I'm talking about you. You are a magnificent, incredible creator. And you are a magnificent, incredible, somebody's mentioning channel, man. Well, I was working on this channel here. This is the big channel. Actually, I do dream of swimming the English Channel someday. We're going to leave that alone for now. We are all, you are such an amazing, magnificent, incredible healer. You can heal on an individual level and you can heal on a collective level. And I'll let you in on a little secret. They're both the same. Healing on an individual level and healing on the collective level are the same. Why? Because every human is a healer of the system and every human is a holographic representation of the whole. What does that mean? You're a holographic representation of the whole. Well, if you get one concept here tonight, and I'm known for doing this. Forgive me. I will say, if you get one thing out of this, and then that leads to the next. If you get one thing out of this, oh wow, just got another thumbs down on this. Well, you didn't catch what I was gonna say. If you get one thing out of this, really truly get it, it will change everything about your existence. And it will change everything about all of our existence. The fact that you are a holographic representation of the whole. Now, I'm going to give Mark, but Michael, you'll be eaten by great white sharks while swimming the English Channel. Mark, from what I understand, there are no great white sharks in the English Channel. They do not like cold water. The sharks. Now, if I went and swam from Cuba, as Nayad did, from Cuba to the States, oh my gosh, golly, that was a very bold, courageous, amazing move and an amazing movie. Um, but yeah, getting back to here. I want you to think, oh, I can't believe I'm going to say this. This goes along the shark idea. I want you to think of a nuclear bomb, or film for simplicity's sake. Think of an atomic bomb. Why? And I'm a lover, not a fighter. Why are we thinking about atomic bombs? And forgive me, I am hearing a Hana bear singing, and it might be a Hana bear that's wanting to come out here. I just have a hunch. I have not asked her to come out here. I've not suggested she come out here, but I have a feeling she may be wanting to come out here. And yet we're talking about nuclear bombs and we're talking about atomic bombs. Why are we talking about atomic bombs? Because we're talking about you as a holographic representation of the everything, as a part of the everything. What is an atomic bomb? An atomic bomb, in layman's terms, and that's about as well as I know it, an atomic bomb in layman's terms is the splitting of one tiny little hydrogen atom. That's why it's called a hydrogen bomb. That's another word for it. Splitting of one tiny little atom, atom that creates a massive ripple in the field, tearing of the field, that has explosive results. It's a tearing of one bond on one atom. Now, the cool thing is we think there's no free energy or that blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. If you can tear up that apart, you can certainly get in touch with that energy and know that if you can pull enough energy from the field to create a hydrogen bomb by pulling apart one atom, there is so much more that scientists know how to do that we haven't been shared, that hasn't been shared with us yet. Oh, and it's coming. However, what we know is the energy or force of splitting one atom can create A Hiroshima can create a Nagasaki, can power how much of this entire planet with the splitting of one atom. Now the question is, how many atoms do you have inside of you? And realize every single atom is a representation of the whole. Every atom is inseparable from every other atom. I mean, you can look at an atom and you can look at the center of the atom. You can look at everything spinning around it because although we were taught it in chemistry or physics that they have all these connections, it's not that there's a connection. You can go under a high power microscope and you see there's no connection between anything. What you have is a central sun and you have everything orbiting around it. Oh, wait a second. That's a solar system. Michael, are you saying that the atom and a solar system are the same thing? Uh-huh. Are you saying that the atom, the system, solar system, and a galaxy are the same thing? Uh-huh. Are you saying an atom, a solar system, a galaxy, a universe are all the same thing? Uh-huh. Michael, are you saying that everything is a representation of everything else in all directions, inside and outside, small and large, macro and micro? Uh-huh. Are you saying that an atom is inseparable from the whole as well? Uh-huh. It's a representation of the whole. It is also the whole. Like every part of the ocean behind me here. I cannot say this wave is the ocean and this wave over here is not. The wave is the ocean is the wave. You cannot separate one from the other. What does this have to do with humanity? What does this have to do with us as a holographic representation? Well, everything. For it means that every person, yes, I'm talking about you, every person, you, are whole and complete. You represent the entirety of all of existence. Every single person, without exception, is a representation or a holographic representation of the everything. Why does that matter? If one atom bomb can be split, or if one atom bond can be split, creating a Hiroshima, then good or bad, think about how much energy by design must be inside of you, must be inside of me, must be inside of each and every one of us. Yes, the energy inside of you is infinite. Not an airy fairy, you're an infinite being. Not an airy fairy, when you get to the other side, you'll recognize then you're an infinite being. Simply, if we broke open every single one of your atoms, I'm not suggesting we do it. Do you know how many Hiroshimas are inside of you? Literally. Energy of the entire universe is inside of you. It is infinite. It is the divine. And it has been kept, this understanding of who and what you are, has been kept from you up until now. The Great Awakening, the Great Ascendance, is really the reclamation of power. The reclaiming of power, of discovering who and what we truly are. Cosmic, holographic representations and living, breathing ones at that, of the entire system, with more energy inside of each and every one of us than all of the suns in the known universe. This is from science, inside of each and every one of us. That's who and what you are. You have more energy inside of you than every single sun in the known universe. So, while the whole system informs you, you inform the system as well. The universe, the field informs you. You inform the system as well. This is why holographic universe gets really, really interesting. On the surface, we can feel the changes. We can feel humanity shifting. We can feel the energy shifting. We can feel the emotions shifting. And if we're honest, each of us can feel our abilities shifting. You're more sensitive. At times, it could be too much so. Guilty. But you are more sensitive. And it's not just our sensors that are shifting. Our abilities to affect inputs are shifting as well. What do you mean? You're having more synchronicities. You're seeing more angel numbers. You're thinking something and having it appear. You're thinking someone and having them appear. All of the strange coincidences that are taking place in your life. And I know they're taking place in your life. Please write them all down. I know there's some crazy, wonderful mojo magic going on for you that may just feel weird, like the nice couple that we met earlier today. The theme this week has been weird ever since the Mike Dooley show, where I think Mike said he's weird, I said I'm weird, Sarah probably said she was weird, Daniel said he was weird, and then people have been coming up to us. Today we met a beautiful Quebecois couple who said that they're kind of weird, actually. The husband said he was weird, and I told the wife, then you must be weird. I love you, I said, but you must be weird by proxy. We're all having these coincidences right now. Why? Our abilities are affecting inputs as well. In other words, the more that, not the more that you have a thought, not the more that you have an emotion, but your thoughts and emotions are becoming real faster than ever. Your ideas are becoming real faster than ever. Your ability to manifest, at least a coincidence, if nothing else, are becoming more real than real. Here's where things become exquisitely important. I'm going to turn to the side because I'm hearing funny sounds next to me. Oh, she went to bed. We'll catch her on the next show. Ah. She went to bed, which is great because we're up early in the morning because we're going to go meet with this beautiful physicist and we're going to have a most amazing talk on physics and math and regenerative and economics and energy and who knows what else. How does it get any better than that? We aren't just carriers of information. We are informers of information. We are informers of information. This is one of the things I was talking about with the physicist. As we were talking about Hurricane Beryl, and again we have that donation button where you can help. We're talking about Hurricane Beryl, and I was talking about how the water informs the storm and helps the storm to do whatever the storm needs to do to get heat out of the water, to get heat into the atmosphere, to help balance and heal the system. Water, by definition, informs all matter. Is it Dr. Hashimoto years ago? Dr. Emoto years ago, who looked under a microscope at water and said love to the water, and it formed one molecule. Said hate to the molecule, it formed another molecule, or another what do you call it? Molecular design or pattern. It's the best way to describe it. Every time he spoke another word or infused that water with energy, it changed shape because water is living, breathing information. What's your brain? Water. Living, breathing information. Water informs all matter. But all matter informs, and this is something Jessica likes to say, all matter informs water as well. It's a two-way street. The water informs us, we inform the water. And on it goes in what appears to be an informative, infinite loop. That is the electron pump that we've been talking about. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. Water informs us, we inform water. Water informs us, we inform water. What does that mean that we inform? We are given a higher level thought, a higher level energetic pattern, a higher level way of being. We think about things differently. We feel about things differently. We experience things differently. And we pump that information right back into the system. In other words, the more you inform the system with goodness, with greatness, with kindness, with the power that you have within you, the faster it begins to shed the old and begins its spiraling upwards. The more that you feed the system with goodness, greatness, and the power you have within you, kindness, compassion, empathy, love, the more you inform that of the system, the more it will give you higher level information, the more that you will feel a higher sense of vibration. The more you pump that back in the system, the more it gives you a higher level. The more you pump that back and higher level, the more they pump it back, all having to do with, and shedding all of this old, the word focus. 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 So Emily's talking about the book with Dr. Emoto. If you focused on a crystal of water, if you focused on a molecule of love, do you have any idea how powerful that makes you? Do you have any idea how much you're pumping that information right back into the system? Yes, it's thought becomes things. And yes, on some level, it's the law of attraction. But I'm going to give you a new law tonight. Oh, I want to call it a higher level law. Law of attraction is pretty cool, though. Actually, it's really cool. The law of reflection. Now that's what we're really talking about. Now we've heard of the law of reflection when you've heard about from Hermeticism, as above, so below, that we are a reflection of what's going on above, as within, so without, that we are a reflection of what's going on inside of ourselves. But let's take this to an even higher level. You are both, and I hope you're hanging in there with me tonight because we've been going on a rocket ship ride. This is not your entry level goodness we're taking on here tonight. And I love you guys. You are both a holographic mirror and a holographic projector. You're a reflector and you're a projector. Now, the powers that be would have you believe you're a reflector only. In fact, reflecting what they desire for you, what they want to see in the world, what they are telling you that you must be in order for them to be more of them or hold on to their power. They tell you what to think about, what to worry about, what to live about, what to be about, which does inform the system as well and can keep you in that subservient fear grip if that's where you place your focus. I can't celebrate right now, Michael. There's too much fear going on in the world. There's too much war going on in the world. Michael, I can't possibly be happy right now. There's too much of this going on. There's too much. Oh, danger, Will Robinson. You're informing the system through your focus. For you are the highest level projector in the world. You're an infinite, divine, unlimited, untouchable, unstoppable, immortal projector. And you beam or project not just into your reality. You don't just beam and reflect into or project into my reality, but because you're a holographic representation of the whole by design, you project in every unlimited direction into the living, breathing cosmos. You inform the system and you create the change you wish to see. Thank you, Gandhi. You create the change you wish to see in the world. That's why there's a positive wave coming, even if we don't believe it on a surface level or see it, but because we can feel it. We feel differently. And when we're in that different feeling state, what we feel, we project. People are feeling more love to their neighbor, even if we're told to fight people on the other side of the border. People are feeling more kindness and empathy. People are feeling more love and more goodness. People are feeling more capacity to care about another, whether that's a human being, whether that's an inchworm, whether that's a whale, a dolphin, an ET, a whatever. We're feeling more toward others. That's informing the state. That's then informing us, that's then informing the state again. And back and forth it goes. Because we feel differently, we project something differently into reality. So the question is, and we've been going for quite a while, thanks for hanging in there with me. What does this mean? You're a rock star. What does this mean? And how can we help with this ascendance and help in our own lives? Well, I can't believe it was put this way to me. We get our minds out of the gutter. And no, I'm not talking about that gutter. I mean, where do you wish to place your focus, or what do you wish to project? How do you wish to see the world going? How do you wish to see humanity going? How do you wish to see your life going? For this is where you project your reality. This is how the world ascends. This is how the world is changing. By changing our thoughts, by changing our feeling state, and by changing the energy that's deep within us. Now, we can call it spiritual alchemy, and that's something we're going to be diving into heavily in this month's School of Mystics as well. You can call it spiritual alchemy, but it's something much deeper than the term alchemy, because the term alchemy still tends to mean like something with the physical, turning lead into gold, even though we understand it's purely a metaphor. But what we're really talking about, and that's why I'm so interested in having Robert Edward Grant on having Billy Carson on next week, on having Greg Braden on just a few weeks after that. Because what we're talking about is taking this energy, and this is something that the ancients have known. This is something that other civilizations have known. I'm talking off Earth and want to help us to understand. It's about taking energy, transforming it, and projecting it. Remember, you're a projector. Taking energy, transforming it, and projecting it out in all directions infinitely into the cosmos. That's what we get to do. That is why I've heard teacher after teacher saying that humanity is special, that humanity is different. And my belief has been, and I'm still playing with this, yeah, but wouldn't every civilization say this? Wouldn't every beingness say this? Don't we all say that we're the center of our own universe? But what if we are? What if being holographic representations, we are all exquisitely important. We are all the center of the universe. We are all incredibly important to all beings, to all civilizations. And it's not this tiny little human being. That's why the whole universe is looking at humanity, but not just humanity. And it's not just because, well, going back to the atomic bomb, we can blow ourselves apart. And it's not just because we've likely shot down E.G. Craft, created them ourselves, and created their weapons and technologies and learned how to use the scalar waves, making us incredibly dangerous, or incredibly capable of helping make massive positive change. It is because of our ability to change and shift the living, breathing cosmos in the universe through our beautiful new thought projections. That's why other species are interested in us. Our ability to change and shift the living, breathing cosmos and universe through our beautiful new thought projections. Oddly enough, humanity is at the forefront of her ability to project. Now, I had arguments with automatic writing when we got to this. Actually, specifically, what is written down here is, we know, Michael, you want to stop us here and declare, but aren't all species aware? Aren't all species capable of this? That's what I got on my automatic writing, because I'm like, wait a second. This is again saying human beings are the center of the universe and that the sun revolves around us. And I go, aren't all species? And they're like, we have to stop you here. Not all species, and I get this, not all species have the bipolarity that we have. We are a bipolar species, have the internal struggle, have that pump and shift taking place that helps them to spiral upwards. Not all species are going through this inner turmoil that can actually help them break free of their current paradigm. And I said, but aren't all species and all systems inherently holographic and therefore part of the same system? And they said, yes, but. Not all species have access to it because not all species have been informed the way humanity is. And I, of course, pushed them again and said, I have a hard time believing with ear only. And they said, you are the only ones going through this particular portal, this particular pinhole needle at this point. You are the only species out there at this point playing with nuclear energy, about to blow themselves apart and capable of such powerful positive energetic transformations. We're the only ones who has that yin and yang going on in just the right way at just the right time. That's the uniqueness of the human species. That's the specialness of the human species. Not despite our having the weapon, not despite us having these power systems in place, not despite everything that's being hidden from us, but because we are a jumbled, chaotic, growing information system is why we're so important. And as a part of the living, breathing, holographic universe, when we begin to shift because of that bipolarization inside of us, it helps to shift all of reality, all of beingness, all of species to an even, all of civilization to an even higher level. And we can say one of the things that human beingnesses have going for them is our heart, our ability to tune in, to focus on the heart, to breathe from the heart, to live from the heart, to feel into the heart, to speak from the heart. In fact, that's the focus that we get to bring as a holographic being with, and I teach Hannah Bear this every day. So to me, Hannah Bear is incredibly powerful, incredibly intelligent, incredibly capable, and can be a world change maker on whatever platform she wants, any platform, anything. If she wants to paint, awesome. Draw, awesome. Dance, awesome. Sing, awesome. Do nothing, awesome. Whatever, awesome. But what I keep on telling her, because she is such a powerful, as is everyone. She is such a powerful, infinite, divine, holographic projector into the universe. What I teach her almost every single day is I say, with power comes responsibility. I say, Hannah Bear, with power comes responsibility. I'll say it to you. With power comes responsibility. And we can't get away from that. It's all about our focus right now. And I see some beautiful questions coming in. I will do a short Q&A after this. I will do a very, very short meditation. We'll have a longer meditation with our School of Mystics because I'm looking at the time and that clock has just been going here tonight. We are, with our hearts as human beings, ultimate energetic projectors. Now, I've fought with automatic writing on this many times, or with my angels and guides, so I don't believe that we are the only ones. They tell me we are the only ones at this time and place, and that's all that matters for us. I'll buy that part at this moment. They're talking to me right now. But we are ultimate, rather than we are ultimate energetic projectors. So we get to live from the heart. We get to speak from the heart. We get to feel into the heart. We get to ask of ourselves. Understand, if you're a holographic representation of the everything, if you're the holographic means to pump information into the system, then healing yourself heals everyone around you. Focusing on your own heart helps every heart around you. And you don't have to go out there to save the world. You don't have to do this to save the world. If you feel called and compelled, that's something pulling on your heart, do it with all your means. But you don't have to do all of this. You have to do all of this. Heart, what do you want? Heart, how can I help you? Heart, what are you feeling today? And then we get to nourish and feed our hearts, the projector of all projector, with all the goodness it needs to live, thrive, breathe, grow, and expand. Literally, up, until our last breath and beyond, because we inform the system every single step of the way, even until and especially beyond our last breath here on this side of the portal or this side of the door. We get to feed our heart with pure goodness. We get to feed our heart with what I would call soul food, if you will. And that's what we get to do every step of the way. Live as the divine influencer that you are. Live as the holographic informer of the universe that you are. Live as if you personally make a difference for everyone and everything everywhere. And I'll let you in on a little secret. And this is the secret that they don't want you to know. You do make a difference for everyone and everything because you are that holographic representation. Your thoughts, your feelings, your energy, your emotion. Again, you have more energy inside of you than all of the known suns in this universe. Inside, atomically, inside of each and every one of us. And as you begin to focus that energy, as you begin to focus on where you want it, rather than, again, getting your head out of the gutter, as you get to focus on that at the highest level, you make a massive difference. You can make a difference. You are making a difference. And you do making a difference on a massive scale just by being you. That's why you're bombarded with fear messages. That's why you're bombarded with, oh, worry about them, worry about this. Well, even if this goes right, this will go wrong. And the election, even if it goes this way, well, that's going to take place. And that's not going to happen because this is going to happen. And with the Supreme Court, this, and with the, oh my gosh, golly, and you're being taught and informed starting in preschool why you don't matter. You're not as important as the teacher. You're not as important as anything. You're a divine infinite master. It doesn't mean that your teacher isn't infinitely important as well, but you are a divine infinite master. But you're taught very early in every school system, at least that I've heard of, that you don't matter. Okay, every system built by the system of school. There are some incredible alternative teaching methodologies out there today. But you know what I'm talking about. You're taught by society. You're taught the powers that be. You're taught by songs. You're taught by popular culture. Oh my God, are you taught by social media that you don't matter? But I'm here to tell you, you do matter exquisitely. And that if this information got out there, just how much you matter, just how much your energy matters, just how much you are a holographic projector. If this information got out there, you would change the world. We would change the world like that, faster than a heartbeat, more than any campaign, more than any movement that you can ever think of. The world would change in a heartbeat, forgive that irony, or in an instant, truly for your highest good and the highest good of all, or something even better. Yes, the replication. One replicates after the next, after the next, after the next. It's beyond a contagion. It's a replication, all beginning with the heart, all beginning with the feeling state, all beginning with where you place your awareness, place your attention, and especially place your emotion. This is what it means to ascend and to transcend. It means to go beyond your current energetic state, to go beyond your current limitations, to go beyond your current emotions, to live, to play, to vibrate, to breathe at a higher level. You can do this. You are doing this. This is why I've got this training in this month's School of Mystics, because I want to help you do that at an even higher level. But you are doing this. And I want you to leave here tonight knowing just how powerful you are when you get your mind out of the gutter, when you get into that focus, when you remember you are a holographic projector and you play this higher level game that you are capable of playing. And yes, we'll open it up to questions. But how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than knowing just who and what you truly are? All right, going to open up to questions. It is one of those funny evenings, as the running joke goes, where I do not have any water with me. How does it get any better than this? And my glasses, as it got dark here, I can see all of these smudges and smears on it because of these brilliant lights in front of me. So I'm going to see if I can actually see better here. So at some points I could read the chat. At other points the glare was preventing me from seeing the chat. Well, that's a little bit better. Glary in a different way. But let's take a few questions here. And Marianne Riley, welcome to the Backstage Pass. I've recorded, and if you click on that join button below, I've recorded so many Backstage Pass videos, but I don't have, I get to get a Canadian cell phone plan in the next few weeks because I don't have a good data plan on the road. So I get all these great videos, I bring them back to the RV, and then I'm on to things like this. And sometimes they're getting uploaded and sometimes they're not. So I get to do even better at that. So Marianne Riley, welcome, and you will be seeing some beautiful, amazing videos coming up. And there's a whole collection for you to go through right now as well. Don Rivera, how do we not feed the bully? How do we ignore the bully? Choose the station, Don, to a higher level thought. You feed the bully by feeding into the fear, not by actually having to do anything, but by focusing on it. Where you place your focus is what matters. Where you place your focus is what you project. If you focus on the bully, you're feeding the bully. If instead you're focusing, you don't have to ignore the bully. You go, okay, the bully's saying this, the bully's saying that, great, whatever. But have you looked at this today? Have you seen what's going on over there? Have you seen what these people are doing? Have you looked into a flower? Fibonacci sequence. Infinity, 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 infinity. That's not feeding the bully. That is feeding a higher level of consciousness, a higher state of beingness. Letitia, I know the angel's trying to communicate with me. Numbers 54. I don't understand what that means. So 5-4 means a couple things. 5-4 means specifically that we get to work on manifestation. We don't work on manifestation. You have an incredible ability to manifest. It's where you place your focus. But 4 also means you get to call in assistance and put together it's the number 9, which means that right now what you get to focus on is your life path, your life plan, and where you are and want to go. And that is how I would call them in. And then that is where I would place your focus. Laura, could Michael explain Schumann's resonance? Schumann resonance. So, Laura, the Schumann resonance is everything has a vibration to it. Everything is a tuning fork. Everything is, well, we could take a little triangle in the symphony, or maybe we played one as a kid in, elementary school. We take this little triangle and we hit it with a little piece of metal, bing, and it vibrates, bing, and has a frequency to it. Everything has a frequency. Everything vibrates. The earth has a frequency to it. And yes, if you took a large enough stick, please don't do this, and whacked the earth, it would vibrate even more so. But it is continuously vibrating. In fact, that stick, maybe that's the sun. Maybe that's the sun's power. The earth is vibrating. Now, I haven't read recently, but what I've been hearing, and that frequency, if I remember right, be way back when I wrote Barefoot Running, I think was 7.3 hertz. I am probably, forgive me, I'm probably way off on that. But what I know is that frequency or that vibration has been going up and up and up and up. And there was some, years ago I read that Schumann resonance has to do with the lightning hitting the earth and that we're having more lightning bolts than ever. And I do not know this to be true, but actually if I put on my meteorological geek out on the weather hat, there's more water in the atmosphere because there's more heat. There's more heat on the ocean. The more the water heats up, both on ocean and land, the more that it goes up into the atmosphere. The more that it goes up into the atmosphere, the more that there is electricity, an electrical discharge to bring everything back into balance. So that makes sense. And the more lightning strikes that there are, the more the Schumann's resonance would change. And the more the vibration of this planet would be faster. So when we're talking about the frequency of the earth, it is literally going up and up. And I just gave a physical reason that may or may not be a part of it, but I like my hypothesis. What does that mean for us? Well, we're living, breathing systems on a living, breathing system. We vibrate along with the biggest tuning fork in the house. So if the Earth is vibrating at a faster level, we are. Um, and one of the reasons that um, here's a down to earth example of how we can play with the Schumann's resonance. If you travel into a different time zone, particularly if you travel halfway around the Earth, the single best thing that you can do for yourself is not just sleep. It's getting yourself barefoot and putting your feet on the earth, sitting down on the earth, laying down on the earth, but vibrating in alignment with that part of the earth, which helps sync your circadian rhythm because Schumann resonance doesn't just have this giant frequency, but the frequency goes up and down throughout the day because the lightning strikes vary depending on what time of day there is as well. And you get in sync with that. Your cortisol levels change to get in sync with that, which is actually a waking and sleeping hormone, along with, oh gosh, do I want to actually go to um, satiation? No, I'm not going to come up with the hormones right now. There are two other key hormones that having to do with sleep and waking, and you get in sync with those based on the Schumann resonance by getting in touch with the earth. So it's super powerful to spend some time each and every day plugging into the earth, particularly if you're traveling around the globe. As we have Ann Beer here tonight, who has just traveled from the Philippines to California. Super important for her as well. Brett Burton, I have been feeling a tremendous amount of energy through the heart rising up to the throat, and it's been a full-time job releasing it. Any suggestions? Chanting is helping. Brett, I want you to get things out on paper right now. There's a lot that needs to be said from the heart. There's a lot, obviously, you get to be even more open in your speaking with others, your communication with others, your sharing with others. But I need you to start by sharing with yourself even more. So, yes, your throat chakra is opening up, but it's also opening up to you. And so I want you, you can do certainly automatic writing, you can do just basic journaling. I want you to start talking with you, to start writing to you, to start having conversations with you. This is going to help you to release. Now, if any of the stuff that comes up is, well, from your ego, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do the other thing? Blah, 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 blah. Write it all down, shred it, or burn it and be done with it. That will help you to release it. Chanting, awesome. Singing, awesome. Belting it out, awesome. Using your voice, awesome. Sharing with others, awesome. In fact, sing to your heart's content, Brett. Know just how good this is, all of this energy coming up at this time. Know that you are transforming literally right before your eyes, and ride this beautiful wave of transformation, Brett, with everything you've got. All right, next. Um, Amanda, did you float above your body during an NDE? And if so, did you see your silver cord? Never really heard you specifically say that. I have not, Amanda, physically. So, what's the best way to put this? First NDE gone and came back. Don't know the specifics about it. Completely changed person. Same person, not a stand-in. Second NDE had a tunnel, not really so much of a tunnel of light, was given a choice, stay or go, chose stay. And during the first half hour after I chose stay, before emergency crews got there, I was breathing in light, sending in love, breathing in light, sending out love, and again, download after download after download after download, where a concept to me came of a silver cord, but of which is by far not mine alone. But I did not see a silver cord, but it was where I got download after download of who and what I am. And it is true. It can come from automatic writing. It can come from an awakening experience. It can come from a Kundalini rising. It can come from any of these things. Once you have plugged into that again, it's very easy to get back there. It's if that cord has not been cut. It's never severed for any of us, but it's more like that fiber optic cable has been opened up, and that flow will just keep coming from life if you don't deliberately shut it down. And why would we? It's a brilliant question, Amanda. Thank you. Lots of love. Allison V. How do we focus on our own energy? For me, it's going inward and needing more downtime and alone time. I have behind me, yes. Da, 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 da. What's this? Oh, I infused this with love. This is Jessica's new meditation cushion. This is allowing her to focus even more on her energy. We do it any which way works for us. It can be sitting on a cushion. It can be like I do, drooling in bed at night or first thing in the morning. We can call it meditation. We can call it drooling. Just being there, just being with myself. You can do it running, you can do it biking, you can do it painting, you can do it singing, you can do it making love, you can do it in so many things where you take that time and you take that cosmic pause to not think up here, but to simply be in here. So many of us need more downtime and need more alone time right now because we are so energetically sensitive. That has been turned into a word of weakness is actually an incredible strength. All future leaders will have so much more sensitivity they have now. Why? Because we'll have a whole new generation of leaders, compassionate, kind ones that are an equal and not above, but a representation, a true representative of everyone and a true holographic representation of the whole. But their superpower will be the sensitivity that you have. With that superpower doesn't just come responsibility, but comes a time where you get to shut it off. How do we shut it off? By going into our beingness state. That's what you're doing. That's what you need. And you rock it, Allison. So I'm glad this gift is growing inside of you. I'm glad you're hearing and feeling and heeding the calling to dive inwards. And it will expand and you'll dive inwards more. And it'll expand and you'll dive inwards more. As you get more super skills, you ground into yourself. Get them even larger, ground in, get them even larger, ground in. Remember, Allison, you're a holographic representation and projector of the whole, which means the more sensitive you get, the more that you feel all this energy, the more that you can pump pure goodness right back into the system by taking care of your heart. Oh, Heen, the most amazing frequency I ever had, besides from Mark Wenham, of course, was when I used to go camping and sleeping on the ground. It was an incredible feeling of connection. Yeah, in fact, Heen, I can't believe I have my sandals on right now. Here, there, I'm barefoot on the earth as we speak. Oh. um, let's go to Emily Ward. How do we deal with all the clear cutting of trees that is going on over the US these days for more and more apartment cities, etc.? It's a brilliant question, Emily. It's one that I'm going to talk with his physicist tomorrow about, who wrote maybe the first brilliant book on regenerative economics, which is a way of creating a closed chain systems where nothing has gone to waste, where nothing is taken that isn't reproduced, so that the system always stays in balance. Because, Emily, what you're talking about is a system that's out of balance. I believe, as a holographic representation of the whole, we bring it into balance in our hearts, and this helps change our outer reality. And at the same time, we focus on what we want our outer reality to be. It's okay to see this clear cutting and go, oh my God. And it's okay to certainly vote, make choices with our dollars, make choices with what we choose to consume around each of these things. And we do that together with that internal focus of how great it can be. So it's not that we just put our heads in the sand and we go, because it's taking place, I'm just going to focus inward and it'll just go away. We make the best choices that we can. And so, Emily, I'm riding on the bike and I'm trying to get the exact line. I'm riding on the bike, I've got Hunter Bear on the front, and we round the bend, and there are all these chopped down aspen trees. And I think the first thing that I said to her is, with power comes responsibility. You get to make great choices. You can see a new future and you can create that new future. You can be that new future. Put that future into your heart. See it with all your heart, soul, and beingness. And never leave your empathy behind. Have care, kindness, compassion for all living creatures, and that certainly includes the trees. To me, that's much more than a statement. That's kind of a call to arms, not that kind of arms, a call to action, Emily, that helps us all get in alignment with a higher level solution. I believe in the upcoming years, we are going to, forgive me, and this is what I keep hearing over and over again, there's going to be so much climate calamity and climate disaster that we are going to radically change from a for-profit system. And I'm not saying that making money is a bad thing. We all deserve to have incredible infinite wealth. But from a for-profit system where it is an open chain, where we consume, we consume, we consume, or we mine, we mine, we mine, and it's mining of trees until there's nothing left, to a we have such a radical shift with the number of tornadoes and hurricanes and fires and heat waves, and the heat wave's the biggest killer of them all, and all of these things taking place, that we shift in our hearts. That as we begin to shift, we begin to hear greater ideas. And as we shift more, we hear greater ideas. And as we hear more, we create greater ideas until the idea of strip mining or cutting down all these trees doesn't make sense to a single one of us. And I believe that is coming fast and faster than we could ever imagine. I believe it's going to be in a generation or less, maybe far less than that, that it will all radically start to change just because it has to, but also because of where we're placing our focus. And I know that is changing right now. Brilliant question, Emily. We love you. We miss you. We want to see you. Come up and visit us. Lots of love. And on to Summer from here. Okay, and I wish I could keep up with all of these beautiful, wonderful comments. Bonnie Binsky, I taught at Krupalu a decade and a half ago in Massachusetts, and I had all these beautiful, amazing linear individuals, doctors and the like. Uh, Doctors are amazing people too, but I had everybody hugging trees, of course, as part of our retreat. And when I would say times up, you can let go of the tree, they didn't want to, because you vibrate with the highest tuning fork in the room. Summer love. Is there a being called Satan, devil, evil, or is it our own thoughts that are not one in God? Thank you, Michael. Love you. Summer, I'm going to give you my opinion, and there are so many different opinions, but I guess I'll just give you mine. Um, there are beings that are helping us on all levels, and we can label the beings whatever we want. And the beings are both real and the beings are not real. They're energy helping us formulate this new construct. Um, I don't believe, and nothing can convince me otherwise, in evil. I don't believe in badness. I believe in energy gone awry. I believe in a state of separateness. I believe in a state of egoic mind out of fear. And I believe that this can lead to some really challenging things. I wanted to say bad things, but there is no really bad. It's all evolutionary. But I think we can have things the easy way or the hard way. I do believe that there are lost beings, lost souls, lost whatever, that are terrified of the light and want to keep themselves and therefore keep us, because they're piggybacking on us, out of the light. But I don't believe in inherent evil. And if an inherent evil existed in a system that is a closed chain system and that is a system in balance, it couldn't. We're always expanding. We're always spiraling upwards. If something was sucking us down, we wouldn't be spiraling. We wouldn't be growing. We wouldn't be expanding. It is our own lack consciousness, our own fear-based consciousness, our own separateness. Separateness from what? Separateness from our true nature that creates this fear-based monster inside of ourselves that we label Satan, we label the devil, we label evil. And that is not to say that one person doesn't go out and kill another person. We have all seen this happen. Or one country doesn't go out and slay another country. We have seen this happen. It is not out of evilness. It is out of fear, loss, separation, confusion, and a need to get back into the heart. It doesn't mean that it's all suddenly going to go away, But it does mean that the more that we bring that holographic projection into our reality and therefore all realities of how we wish to see people, of how we wish to see the world, and how we wish to see the place healed, that it does happen. Brilliant question. Just my opinion, Summer. Daniel, I'm looking at the time. This is probably the last question, but I will read a few more here. Da, 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 da. Heal with love, not resistance. Oh my gosh, Daniel. Heal with love, not resistance and fighting. Daniel, what was it, the 80s, 90s, Bush? Was it War for Peace? If ever I've heard insanity, that is it, a war for peace. There ain't no war that's going to cure anything. There ain't no resistance that's going to cure anything. There ain't no fighting that's going to cure anything. It's all about the frequency. How is a lower vibration going to create a higher vibration? It's just not possible. If you be the greatest tuning fork, if you play at the highest vibration, now you stand a fighting, or as the case may be, loving chance. Um, let's see if I can get to these last three questions that are here. From Carol, who is I believe, a long time member here. Backstage Pass member. I have a question. Last week I was so up. I would get up and say, I am so incredibly happy. This weekend I felt terribly stressed and like I've taken 10 steps backwards. What's going on? The pump. We don't worry about it. We don't judge it. It's that AC/DC alternating current helping you to spiral upwards. So we do not worry about it at all. We say, Carol, we say, I'm feeling really poopy now. And you can use the word poopy because you might laugh about it. I'm feeling really poopy. I'm feeling really bad. I'm feeling really stressed out. Oh my God. I'm not making light of it. Carol, you're seeing me here and I'm very plugged in at these times. Very, very plugged in. And that's not my fist. I'm trying to, there we go. Take it a pulse. I'm as human as the rest of us. I go up and I go down and I go up and I go down. It's always spiraling upwards. It's always a staircase upwards. But if I was to say, I don't have a time where I've felt completely stressed out and like I'm taking 10 steps backwards, well, I bear would be on here telling you that that ain't true. Or Jessica would off here. We all go through this. It's okay. It's part of the process of humanity at this moment. It doesn't always have to be this way, but that's where we're at. And so we love ourselves up. We focus on where we want to be rather than focus on the poopiness, except that we focus on that energy enough to say, where's this energy coming from? So Amanda said, good word. What can I learn from this poopiness? How is this poopiness here to serve me? And then how can I change my poopy diaper? You get what I'm saying, Carol? We love ourselves up even as we're going through this. Suki Heen is saying that a husband was a drummer too. I'm not catching all this conversation. I got to get my sticks back out. I am not a good drummer at all. I am a baby beginner drummer, but I do have an electronic drum set. Baby wanted that with me. I do have my sticks with me. It would be fun to play. All right, Andrea, last two questions. Hi, Michael. I am wanting to learn to do energy work like Reiki, but one of your guests mentioned that we don't need to heal anyone. Are you saying there won't be a need for healers in the future? At this level of consciousness, Andrea, we need healers. We need you. We need everyone. Please do Reiki or whatever falls on your heart. Somewhere we will be at this place. We are not there yet. We can all use all the energetic healing assistance we can get. So if that's pulling on your heart, please go for it with everything that you got. Is there a time where we won't need healers? Absolutely. Are we there yet? Absolutely not. So we might as well do what we can with what we've got while we are here, while we are at this level or evolution of consciousness, even if we change like that. One thing that's cool with Reiki is you learn how to play with energy. This is what we're talking about at an even higher level. Last question, and then I'm trying to see if we're going to do the briefest meditation. I like to try to finish by 10 at the latest. So I might have the briefest of brief meditations. Again, come join us for the School of Mystics Wednesday. We'll have a much better? We're going to do some attunements. We're going to play with your energy at a super high level this Wednesday, and we'll have a beautiful meditation as well. Um, Summer Love, what are your thoughts on A Course in Miracles? Summer Love, I am not the expert on it. Alan Cohen, who we've had on numerous times, he is an incredible expert on it. I highly recommend his work. There's so many other great souls and beings. Everything that I have read, and I have read a decent amount, falls right in alignment with everything that we are teaching right here. That was a downloaded course program. It's so much more than that way of beingness, and I love it. I love it. I love it. My mentor Jack was 89 years young when he was my best man at our wedding. He was a Course in Miracles guy, and he was a beacon of bright and shiny light if ever I have heard of one or seen one. All right. Um, I'm seeing beautiful comments here. I love you, Mary Fry. I love you, everyone. Okay. What are we going to do for like a 30-second meditation? 30-second meditation where I get to get some water. You know, I'm hearing seagulls behind me. I'm hearing seagulls at 9:58 at night. Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, what I'd like you to do is I've got my shoes off now, and I would like you to imagine having your shoes off as well. I would like you to imagine that if you've ever had a positive camping experience in your life, you are out at your campsite, you're out at your campground, or you're out with me with the St. Lawrence Riverway behind me, and there's still seagulls out at almost 10 o'clock at night, and there's still baby belugas swimming and dancing just offshore, humpback whales, minsk whales, blue whales. I heard a blue whale song a few days ago. Real song. I mean, me swimming in the water. Imagine that you are at a campsite, maybe here with me now. And eventually we will do retreats. We will have you here with me. But you've got your feet on the earth. And it feels so good. It feels so delicious. It feels so, so peaceful. You take a nice deep breath in, smelling that salt air in the distance maybe, and out through the nose. In through the nose, and out through the nose. In and out. As you continue to breathe, you put your focus on your feet. You feel the earth beneath you. Maybe that's dirt or sand or grass as I have beneath my feet. Pine needles, all of the above or none of the above. But you breathe in and you feel that goodness beneath your feet. You breathe out. You breathe in, you feel yourself taking energy in from the earth. You breathe out and you feel you discharging all of your negative energy back into the earth. And by that, I don't mean good or bad. You breathe in all the goodness from the earth. You breathe out, and through your feet or any way you're touching the earth, you release all of the tension inside of you. You breathe in peace, love, calming energy. You breathe out stress, anger, enmity, fear, worry. In, you take in love. Out, you discharge everything else. In love, charging from the earth. Out, anything that doesn't serve you. In from the earth and out to the earth. In peace, out worry. In tranquility, out what doesn't serve you. In silence, out. Silence, out. Peace, out. Love, out. Bliss, out. You are the everything. Out. You are all the peace in the universe. Out. And you are everything you ever needed or ever could possibly need. You are love. You are light. You are the divine. Feel free to stay in this blissful state as long as you'd like. In fact, don't be shy or bashful. Just close your phone or your computer right now. Stay in the bliss. Stay in the silence. Stay in you. And yes, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? See you Wednesday in the School of Mystics. I send so much love your way. See you Thursday with Robert Edward Grant. I'll see you next Sunday as well. I send all my love your way. Bliss and peace and you, for you are the divine. Woohoo! Let's see if it'll cut to the music tonight from Ayla Ray, my most amazing sister. Literally.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitations. Shine, hold the sunlight on your chest and fly. Look to the sky, let your spirit shine brightly, shine brightly. Oh, shine. Share the magic deep in your soul. The glitter around you. Live your greatest truth. Catch those dreams, swim in the